Thank you very much. There is oftentimes a lot of discussion about who is getting the support from XM. And there are those who would like to characterize it as subsidies for big business. And even though we've debunked that argument over and over again, I'd like to get a better sense of how the bank indirectly supports small businesses through the supply chains of the larger companies that you support. For one company alone, they support, in my district, 152 small and medium-sized companies. They're part of the supply chain. Have you ever tried to quantify the supply chain benefits of the financing you provide? How many suppliers, if you know, do the larger users of the bank have across the country? If Congress fails to reauthorize the bank, what impact will this have on the thousands of small suppliers across the country that indirectly benefit from the bank's support? And finally, am I the only one in the Congress of the United States or on the Democratic side that have all of these suppliers that benefit from the support of larger businesses by the Export-Import Bank? Could you help us out with that, some of this information?
I'm going to try. We work with a lot of suppliers. You know, when a Boeing or a GE makes an export, they're really system integrated. They're really assembling a product. Just the way Ford Motor Company assembles automobiles, Ford doesn't manufacture cars, it assembles them. I visited a company called Tomco right outside of Atlanta. They make fire suppression equipment. They're a small business. They supply to GE power turbines and export around the world. Because of that work, they're now getting strong enough they want to start exporting directly. So sometimes the supply chain helps them actually learn about those export markets. I visited a company called ClickBond in Nevada that provides essentially is used in Boeing to attach the skin to the structural support of the aircraft. It's a company called LMI right outside in St. Charles, Missouri, also in the supply chain. Small businesses, sometimes they're small machine shops. It's a company I visit called Ace Aerospace in Memphis, same thing. These are small businesses that are directly supplying to larger companies and thereby exporting. Hard to get a precise number, Ranking Member Waters. I think it probably in the range of about another 10% of our small businesses are in that supply chain.
I'd like to just share with you some information. It comes from my district. Let's take a look at Hanson Engineering Company. Hanson Engineering Company is one of the many small businesses. Dear Congresswoman Waters, Hanson Engineering Company is one of the many small businesses in the South Bay area of Los Angeles, California, that is dependent on Boeing contracts to support our business. Hanson Engineering is a manufacturer of machined aerospace parts and assemblies, with 90% of our contracts supporting Boeing aircraft, either directly or indirectly through our other prime aerospace companies throughout the world. My company staffs approximately 60 employees who live in the South Bay and surrounding areas and depend upon the support of Boeing for the well-being of their families. Without the reauthorization of the XM Bank, it would have a big impact on the health of our businesses, its employees, and their families. Mr. Hotchberg, you need to know, and I think you do know, that I've held several meetings in my district with small businesses who are directly benefiting from XM, but I've held meetings where the suppliers have come. And these suppliers have come to talk about how important it is to maintain their businesses. And even though they're small numbers of employers, you know, 60, 50, 40, what have you, they cannot understand what is going on in Congress and why anybody would put their businesses at risk this way. They wanted to know from me why my colleagues on the opposite side of the aisle, and particularly the chairman, was so opposed to the support for suppliers through these companies. And I could not explain it, but I asked them to pay close attention, because Mr. Henselin, my chairman and my friend, has absolutely said he wants to close down XM. He wants it to go out of business. And so I think that he'll probably reiterate that today, despite the fact that his leader has said Get something out of committee. Do something. Don't let this bank expire. And so everybody is waiting to see what Mr. Henson is going to say, what he's going to do, or whether he's out to just kill this bank. I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman.